Somebody call the doctor because Bad Medicini's back! Over there is Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today, the day has finally arrived. We are here to wrap up Alice in Borderland Season 2. This is Episode 8. I don't think very many folks survived, but we're at the Queen of Hearts. I see some croquet set up. Who knows? Who knows what's coming? You do. I don't.
It's time for some possible croquet. That'd be awesome. But I'm definitely ready, willing, and able to see this season 2 finale to set us up for season 3. I cannot wait.
Yeah, they cranked it up to 11 for episode 6 and 7. I have no idea what we're in store for. I'm just pumped for it.
I am so ready for this episode. I can't believe we are finally here, and thank God we are getting to season 3. So I'm excited for that too.
Let's go! Hey, Steve, can I get a water?
Coming right up. Got a fresh pack right down here. Oh, my back. Oh.
Uh-oh. Looks like Steve's back just called it quits.
Some help would be good right about now.
Yeah, you're gonna need some help with that, Steve. Your injury could be worth millions. You should consider calling Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm.
With more than 1,000 lawyers and 4,000 case staff ready to fight for you if you become their client.
But Steve's worried. He doesn't have the cash to pay for expensive legal fees.
Worry no more. Morgan & Morgan will fight for every penny you deserve. And guess what? The fee is absolutely free. Unless you win. But Steve doesn't want to sue his boss, even though he hasn't gotten his surgery bills covered in the last 6 months. Steve, when you sue for an injury, you're not suing your boss. You're suing the insurance company. So if you've been a victim in a workplace injury or any other personal injury, you can hit the link in the description to get Morgan & Morgan to fight for you. Steve did, and now he's back in the game. Or is this still taking place right now?
Agony.
He's in agony.
Well, it's agony, right. But
See? Told you.
She's alive for now.
That was a lot of stabbing.
He's just chill. This guy never changes his demeanor.
Well, this guy can change his demeanor anytime.
How is that guy alive? And we lose someone by just getting zippered with a machine gun.
Is it going to be just these two?
That's what it looks like.
ルールの説明をさせてもらうわね。これから私たちが行うゲームは難易度ハートのクイーンクロッケー。クロッケー。芝生のビリヤードと呼ばれるゲームに勝っても負けてもいいんだから。
What?
クロッケーを3セット途中棄権せずにただやり終えることがゲームクリアの条件。途中棄権すればゲームオーバー。武器の持ち込みも OK。
What?
Dude.
Weapons.
ゲームを3セットするだけ。
So what if
You have to fight while you play?
So what if she
最後まで
quits?
ゲームをやれば勝たなくてもクリア。そうよ。簡単でしょ。
There's a
Rounds.
catch.
Of course.
Somebody's getting hurt during this. Like each round.
Yeah. And now opening credits.
That
You
for
have
sure
my
means-
curiosity.
Yeah.
So many folks must have skipped the credits on this, like
Like skip
instantly.
intro so fast.
So there has to be some kind of physical harm during.
Eh.
Yeah, but my thing is like, what if you take out the queen, of hearts yourself? That's still you not clearing the game because you didn't play 3 rounds. So you can't just take her out too.
Yeah, I don't think it's that simple as, hey, let's just jump the queen when her back is turned and choke her out. I'm pretty sure it's not that easy.
If only it were that easy, my
just
friends.
So I wonder if the graphic novel ended after the where we are in 2 seasons, and they just decided Netflix is like, hey, we like money, so make more.
Let's just keep the story going.
This train needs to keep it moving.
I don't know
マ
how
レ
to
ッ
play
トと呼ばれ
croquet.
る木槌と2個のボールを使って相手より先に規定の順序で6つのフープを2度ずつ通過し、最後のフィニッシングペグにボールを当てれば勝利。
Oh, and it's on AstroTurf. Yeah. I can get some speed. Well, you don't have to hit it like that, but...
Whoops.
Yeah, he's not going to be.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to win at least.
I know that it's survival, but we all can think about what's probably going to happen here.
True.
1セット目、私の勝ち。
It doesn't matter who wins, so what's the catch?
3セット途中棄権せずにやり終えればゲームクリア。俺たちの勝ち。あと2セット。
Maybe the queen literally just wanted somebody to play with.
I mean, that was a quick round, too.
Would it
I
be
mean,
just that simple?
じゃあ、2セット目。
All right.
oh boy, it got quiet.
She's going to do the old stand on one and hit the other? Oh. Oh.
あー、楽しいわね。よし。
これじゃいつまで経っても終わらない。
Yeah. He's going to have to.
You better hurry up and win this round. Is what
Yeah.
you better do.
I mean, regardless of how long the queen takes, if he can win the round, then it's over.
Yeah, but then she's going to do that.
Yeah.
She smacks his. She's going to smack his on purpose.
Yep. I mean, you could literally, if you weren't trying to win, you could drag it out forever.
There's
Round 2.
勝った。
This is going way too fast.
疲れちゃったわね。お茶でもいかがかしら。
お茶？お茶なんかいいから。早くゲームに。
ゲーム中のティータイムは紳士淑女のたしなみよ。さあ、遠慮なく召し上がれ。
Don't drink it.
It's got iocane powder in it.
そして元の世界に帰りたい。
帰れるのか。
さあ、それは私の口からは言えない。
Who knows?
I can't tell you that.
その先の500年間、脳の快楽物質を摂取さえしていれば生きていける。これが1000年後の未来の世界。
There's a camera.
Yep.
One dead leaf. Well, it's alive, but it's not perfect.
So who's watching?
Well, we are.
What?
Whoa.
Oh,
What?
Whoa.
it's all VR and avatars and
ま
stuff.
さにあなたたちは仮想現実でゲームをしている最中。没入しているあなたはそれを忘れている。この1000年前のゲームツアーは今一番
It's kind of like Total Recall.
ほぼ永遠の命を得て生きる目的が薄れるゲーム。死の危機感や世界終焉の危機感を用いていたこの1000年前の時代が私たちの心を捉えた。
So they live forever, so people go into a world where they can actually
You gotta
die.
be kidding me.
本当はね、遺伝子操作により突然変異した植物が大量発生。あなたたちも見たでしょ？街が
It's more
どんどん
lies.
植物に覆われていたの。
Well, the city has become overrun with vegetation.
街は山々に囲まれてしまった。
We saw that.
Yep.
And
Yes, we did.
Thanks to
それは
Anne.
皆異星人によって行われた。
Alien.
Is this real or is this another?
well, remember that was the fireworks.
Yep.
それは
本当よ。 でも
I don't believe her.
ゲームをさせられている人類の間ではこんな噂も流れている。
It would explain the lasers shooting down from the sky, getting everybody.
地下に住まう大富豪たちが人工記憶を持たせたアンドロイドに地上でゲームをさせ、どの機体が生き残るか賭けごとに用いていると。
Well, we did see the screens. I think she's lying.
About the
I forget which
Yep.
episode it was in, but I did say it. Like, what if it's like Squid Games where it's just a bunch of people betting?
ただ、人工記憶をインストールされたアンドロイドに過ぎない。
本当なんだろうな。
なんちゃって。
She's just gonna keep telling you, be so you don't do the round.
Yeah.
どうせ本当はあんたも答えを知らねえんだろ。
Oh, the queen is great. This is hilarious.
You're enjoying this?
I am.
This is entertaining to you?
Oh yeah, watching you lose your shit. Yeah.
死んじゃったお友達のためにも知りたい？
Yeah, quit around.
Yeah.
いいの。止めないであげて。恨みは生きていく上で最も大きな動力源の一つよ。
Part of me says pull it, but the other part's like, we can't. We need more info, even if she is lying out her
Say
ass.
shoot the camera.
Ah, that would be interesting if he turned and shot the camera.
私はあなたの主治医、カノミラ。
This is some Shutter Island shit now, huh?
あなたは私のカウンセリングを受けている。あなたは覚えてないだ
I
け。
don't believe this either.
覚えてないだけ。どう？思い出してきた。
Good, because
だ
ain't
ん
none of
だん
that
と記
true.
憶が蘇ってきた。
But he lost his friends in the game, not the real world.
No way.
Well, it was a special world that Alice went into.
Yeah, but he lost his friends in that world, not in the real world when they were in the bathroom.
Something might have happened after the bathroom that made
Let's
it
just
dramatic.
let some more.
But
Let it roll out here.
we're gonna let it roll out because obviously she could be lying too.
この世界の誰に必要とされているのか。
できるかな。何言ってんだよ。準備は万端なんだろ？いや知ってるけどさ。うん。どれぐらいやっていいか分かんない。
あなたがこの世界に存在する意味はあるのか。
Huh, he's sitting like somebody we know.
Which is funny because some of those comments are saying he is the lead
お
actor
前は
in that
何のた
film.
めに生きてるんだ。
What is your purpose?
こんな生活いつまで続ける気だ。
I'm still wondering if this is really happening.
I know, same.
アリス、あなたは外で待ってなさい。まだ呼ばれてないでしょ。アリス、やめなさい。
Is there something? Yeah, wake up. Wake up.
アリス、終わりにしましょうか。途中危険の意思を確認できれば、
Quit the game.
Quit.
Yep.
ゲームは終
She's
わる。
hypnotizing him.
Yeah.
ゲームは終わる。
Look at that. Mm-hmm. What a mind this has been.
They're doing so many of
あ
them.
れあれは幻じゃなかった。
They didn't drink the tea. Something I'm missing from the books.
私もあのゲームに参加してた。
That's the croquet.
Yep. And if she was participating in it, they can't share the same dream.
Yep. See it? She's losing a lot of blood.
さあ、アリス。
Wait, if one dies, does that mean they quit the game?
Well, she was never playing.
Well, she was there.
Yeah, she was there.
途中棄権するわね。
She's just trying to get him
No,
to quit.
don't say anything.
Don't do it.
It's time to play the game.
So the drop of sweat coming off his nose, he's going to catch it in his hand or something, and it's going to bring him back to reality.
All you have to do.
この薬を飲むと落ち着くわ。飲んで。そして答えるの。
It is a game of hearts. Do it.
Illusions. Test your heart and your emotions.
Don't do it.
アリス、ダメ。アリス、ダメ。
Okay. Woo! Man, this is a mind trip.
それでもあなたがミラの言葉を信じるなら、私と過ごしてきた時間は、あなたが作り出した幻になってしまう。もしそれが幻なら、私が目の前で死んでいくのを、黙って見ていられるはず。
No. No.
目を覚まして。
But she is right. This is
If it's a dream
this
sequence
is an
here.
illusion. So that shouldn't have done anything. How did we? I'm just real curious about how did we get here for his illusion?
Okay, there's one of the. Okay, now
Yeah, we're going through
Yeah,
all.
going through because like the forest is where he was the decoy.
Yep, here we're going through it all.
Oh, look at that. That's when I first got there.
それだけでよかった。それだけで。
Just say I love you. I love you.
そんなことに気づかせて
That's
くれ
not
たのは。
blood by her.
What?
It's her tears coming out, but
Well, yeah, but
it's
she's
not.
crying-
It's not
she's
all
crying
blood.
yeah, but she's
Yeah.
crying into her blood.
See how big the puddle was, though? It's a lot of friggin' tears, dude.
That's not tears.
It's
That's
not
blood.
tears, it's mainly blood.
She cut her wrist.
I understand that, but you'll see when they back out.
俺はウサギともう一度手をつなぎたい。もう一度一緒に歩きたい。一緒に飯を食いたい。
She wasn't ready for that. Look at her. Doesn't know what to do.
明日も、おはようって言いたい。
毎日一緒に笑いたい。
Just say the goddamn words.
They're getting to it. They got to build up.
Baby steps.
ただウサギがそこにいてくれるだけでいい。
たまには、喧嘩する日があってもいいや。
ただウサギに
I love you.
生きててほしい。
Wants to live.
I love you.
That's right. Go get him, Tiger.
Her hypnosis isn't going to work on our crew.
Say it. I love you.
She was probably stirring that teacup.
Ting, 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 ting. That's right. Round 3.
Talk to your queen like that.
Talk to her like that. Trying to
my
pull one
queen.
over. Yeah.
Let's continue. All right.
Told ya.
Let's finish it.
Oh,
She
What is
just
that?
She realized she could be finished.
Yep. And here we are.
Uh-oh. I don't like how... Yeah. See?
did she bleed out? Or did she?
Oh my
really-
god, she really cut her wrist.
That was real.
Oh my god, with the tea set.
アリス、
Oh no.
もう大丈夫だよ。
No.
Well, things work differently in this world. Let's have some hope.
素晴らしいわね。感動しちゃった。彼女のためにも、ゲームを終わらせましょう。
All right.
All right, so she's okay. Ish.
Ish. Definitely ish.
Add this to our list of challenges.
よし。
She's not as like going yes as much
No.
this time. Now it's just a friendly game. Ish.
Oh, it's
Oh,
like
hell of a shot.
sinking a 20-foot putt.
By the way, we usually play this in the summer. It's fun.
No, we're going to play in 4 feet of snow. That'd be more fun.
It would be a nice challenge.
Lines up.
Oh. She wins.
私の勝ち。
Didn't matter though, right?
The winner does not matter as long as you don't quit. That's what they said. If I missed it.
What she... Oh, by the way, I'm changing the rules. It's best
She
of
looking
5.
up at her. She looking up at her blimp. I showed her glazing off.
3回途中棄権せずにあなたたちはゲームをやり終えた。
Yeah, your hypnosis didn't work.
おめでとう、アリス。
ゲームが終了しました。
Okay.
やっと
Let's see this blimp go down.
終わったの。
Well, we got a few more minutes to go yet. I don't think it's over.
And for our next deck of cards,
Yeah. Now the Jokers. 2 of them.
なあ結局ここは何なんだ
Give us a real answer.
Yeah, exactly. 4 explanations that are all false.
I don't think I want one. I want to go into season 3.
もうすぐわかるわ。
Again, you'll find out.
All these backwards riddles.
2つの選択肢。ど
What?
ちらを選んでも
Season 3.
答えはわかる。あなた自身が何者なのかもそこでわかる。人生ってゲームみたいなもの。もっと楽しみなさい。
Enjoy your life. Oh, there it is. Enjoy your life, Alice. There goes the
Dude.
blimp.
You go through all this just to have more people tell you, oh, you'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
Season 3 is when you'll find out.
Well,
Well, remember,
Dude,
when they
they-
did this, they didn't
I know. Well, we still got like 20 minutes to go yet.
30.
Oh, we got fireworks for the
fireworks!
winner. Oh,
Fireworks!
it's just like when I win at Mario Kart.
Yeah. Pew, 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 pew.
oh, a lot
Be
of
something.
fireworks.
Gotta get to Bowser's Castle and get on the podium.
この国の国民となる永住権を手にするか手にしないかお答えください。
Permanent residence.
Or if
Or
you will
not.
not accept it, doesn't say what the alternative is. Where do we go if we don't accept it? You 86th? What? That's so vague.
No way!
What?
Yeah!
For the next couple of minutes.
Yes!
Yeah.
Dave.
Dude, that's exciting. Please, Anne? Come on, Anne has to be live.
Well, no, we saw her stop breathing.
Well, we saw her.
Okay, he looks like he's done.
He's been laying like that for hours.
No, I guess not.
Oh, your intuition wasn't very.
Well, look at his eyes. Look at the way he's looking up.
Well, your intuition's not what it used to be.
He's been looking at the fireworks, enjoying them.
It's amazing. She handled those 20 rounds from belly to neck pretty good.
Okay. Anne, be alive.
手にしない。
She's looking pretty dead.
No,
Something?
That was
Something?
Accept or do not accept.
I do not accept.
Oh, these two.
Yeah.
They're staying.
無論
Yeah.
僕もありがたく手にする。
Gladly, he'll take it.
Why would anybody want to stay there?
Come
俺
on.
は
You want to go back?
手にしないかな。
I think.
君はどうする？
Stay here, you piece of trash.
手にしね
Wow.
That's surprising.
私は
And
Don't you?
永住権を手に
Yes.
したい。
Okay. Woo. They got me on that one. 'Cause remember the conversation she had
before, yeah.
earlier?
Yep.
お前鼻毛出てんぞ。嘘。
嘘。
この野郎。
クレー顔してっからさ。
あのさ、
Okay.
ワックスつけて鼻毛抜くやつ知ってる？あれ痛そうだよね。
あれさ一生生えてこねえのかな。
んなわけないっしょ。
いやだったら鼻毛カッターの方が優秀じゃね？
We're talking about nose haircut.
爆発の方が痛いから。
だよな。
な。
Is this real?
This can't be real.
どうせ自分は特別で選ばれた人間だから生きてるとでも思ってんだろ。
違う。
Oh.
みんながいてくれたから。
なんかアリスを生かすためにみんなが命を犠牲にしたみたいな言い方なんですけど。
翔太お前意地悪なこと言うようになったな。
だってアリスが全然分かってないからさ。
なんだよお前ら。何が言いたいんだよ。はっきり言ってくれよ。
Would somebody make themselves clear?
てめえ一人の力でクリアできたゲームなんてただの一つもねえってことだ。
俺たちに一生感謝し続けたって全然足りない。
What are we getting here?
一生謝り続ければいいのか。
バカか。お前の命を最後まで全力で使い切ってみせろよ。
Yep. That's what he was told.
はあ。分かった。
Now go find your girl.
People.
What is,
People.
what is going on?
I don't know. Oh, here's the song.
Yeah.
And
Look
same
at him.
spot.
Yeah.
Hey, turn to your left.
She's right there.
お前の独立記念日だ。
This is your Independence Day. I'm like wondering about the pictures in the background and where to see
Hey.
our characters. Yep. Yep, there we
Hey.
are. We're seeing them.
No, are they gonna get hit?
Is it gonna happen?
Fireworks. There's the fireworks.
Oh,
And they go in the bathroom.
There's Anne.
And 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, there she is.
What was that? Did you?
Like
Looked
a
like a
comet.
meteor coming in.
Whoa! Oh, dang. I guess he should have elected to stay. I don't know what to believe anymore.
I don't.
His heart started?
Oh my god. I don't know what to believe.
No, I don't know what's real. Like, did a massive meteor strike hit Japan?
そういうのサバイバーズギルトって言うんだって。なんで自分だけ助かったのか、なんで助けることができなかったのかとか、
That Usagi?
災害や事故で生き残った人って
That's gotta be
そうやって自分のことを責めてしまうんだって。でも兄貴もレスキュー隊に発見された時、心臓が完全に停止してたらしいよ。しかも1分間も。
A whole minute. That would give him enough time to.
His whole
兄貴も
life
1分だ
flashed
け
before his eyes in that
今はの
minute.
際にいたんだよ。
Borderlands.
that's where it was.
You were at the
Yeah.
border between life and death. Alice in Borderlands. Wow. At that spot, choosing whether you want to live, what it means to live, what it means to be alive. Holy shit. And all that happened in a minute.
なんか
And he chose.
どっか
Did not accept to stay, so he went back.
He went back.
親父泣いてたよ。親父が泣くの見たの母さんが死んで以来だったな。
He means something to people too. You know, remember he was questioning before whether his life had meaning.
Yep.
随分と無駄な生き方をしてきたから、これからはもう少しマシな生き方ができそうな気がする。そんなところかな。ろくでもねえ野郎だったのか。お前も。まあね。
Now it makes all the sense in the world why she
yeah. She
survived
lost her leg.
and died. Now because Anne died in the blast. Wow.
Yep.
Now it all makes sense to our review conversation.
Yep.
まあ、心肺停止からよくここまで回復したよ。ガーゼ持ってきて。
はい。
There's... Yep.
心マッサージ開始の DC 準備急いで。アンさん、アンディフナさん聞こえますか？アンさん。
And
心拍戻りませ
I
ん。
was
もう
just
一
saying,
度
I'm
だ。
pretty
近
sure
づ
we
いて。
lost Anne.
離れて。
Or unless they were still working on her.
she said she chose to. She wanted to. She didn't want to stay.
Yep.
She wanted to come back.
Oh.
We got Anne. We got Anne.
大丈夫ですか？はい。焦らなくていいですからね。
Mom?
Yep. Mom made it in this world.
東京上空で隕石が爆発して
A
から
week.
1週間経った現在までのところ、多くの区間で鉄道が運転を見合わせたままで、主要幹線道路も通行禁止とされています。
Oh, there's the boy. It's the little guy.
Yep.
Yes!
Ah, here we
Come
go.
on!
You gotta remember, right?
使ってもいいですか？
あ、すいません。
Woman of his dreams.
Gonna share a water.
And look, all the injuries are the same. Well, for the most part.
本当に合ってません。
それってナンパですか？
Maybe you should.
じゃあ、まあ、
Live your life to the
ナン
fullest.
パってことで。
There you
There we
go.
go! Come on, let's see a smile. Oh, I was hoping she would smile first.
すいません。なんか変なこと言いました。
会ったことあるかも。去年？一昨年？いつだっけな？忘れちゃったけど、なんかどこかで。
Come on!
あ、じゃあ、天気もいいし、中庭で、
Okay, there we go.
There we
That's,
go.
that's a start.
Okay, all right.
That's a good start.
Yep.
So, how about that weather, huh? I love it.
Hope you can keep up.
Well, I mean, she is kind of injured, so I don't know how far they want to walk.
Yeah, just find a nice
Let's
bench
find a
to
bench
sit at.
out in that nice weather. Oh,
Yeah.
what a ride this episode has been.
Zigs and zags and twists and
Oh,
turns.
False finishes like
Oh.
no other. I mean, come on. Aliens? Technology?
Avatars.
Avatars?
Virtual reality.
Ah, the Joker! These guys have been calling it all season. All 2 seasons.
Dude,
Open for interpretation.
Oh, look at that face.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
yeah.
Game within a game within a game within.
Yeah.
Wow! But it was funny, real quick, how you said maybe it'll just be a simple game of croquet, and it
game of croquet.
It started that way with the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's how it started. And then Queen of Hearts started using some crazy hypnosis to try to win. But you know, that's the whole interesting thing is that because it certainly wasn't open-ended. They gave a very definitive answer as to what was going on. People were in, like the brother said, were in the borderland, in between life and death, and this was their choice to, if they wanted to live or die. And it was wild to me that Alice was only gone for a minute, and all of this happened. 2 seasons worth of entertainment happened in a minute, and that's how everything played out. And ultimately, he had to choose, as did everybody else, if they wanted to return to the real world and have another chance at life, or if they wanted to remain in Borderland. We did see 2 characters who chose to stay, which I found interesting. Mm-hmm. It was the ones from Cheshire's game, Cheshire as I'll call him, from his game that he had with having to figure out the numbers on the back of the collars. And
the suit.
Or the suits on the back of the collars. Yeah, not the numbers, suits. And what I found interesting about that, so do they really stay in Borderland, or are they just out of the picture, so to speak?
Like being in limbo.
Well, right. Yeah. Are they in limbo or are they dead?
Because are they considered to be like in a coma, or are they gone, or what?
Well, to me, that's them opting out of life.
That's the way I took it as well.
Because
it was interesting.
Well, yeah, they said it right there, right? They hinted if they didn't say it, but either way, like you said, it's the Borderlands, the in between.
Yep, between life and death, and which way are you going to go? And it was just interesting that those 2 chose to leave, and I just wondered if they really knew the impact of their decision. They just thought, hey, we'll just live in Borderland. This is awesome. There's no rules. We can do what we want. We'll play these games. But yeah, well, who knows? There is a season 3, so who knows how they want to play that out. But look, I think it's the ending, because I mean, to me, that's the big thing. If you guys want to kind of get into like the minutia of everything and all the fine points of the characters, I just kind of want to do a real broad overview. And I think this is one of the most perfect ways that you could end it, because how else would you explain going into this incredibly crazy world where everything is so different yet similar to the real world, and to go 2 seasons and have no explanation really until the final minutes of the final episode? I thought that was a brilliant way to do it. Some people get mad at quote unquote dream sequences, but it really wasn't. To me, it was the journey that Alice and everybody else had to take to decide if they wanted to fight to stay alive, and if they wanted to go back to a life and make something more of it than what they already were. It's the classic thing that Cinderella's sung about. You don't know what you got till it's gone. And they had to realize that, and they had to make it, make a change, take some chances in life. So I thought that was great. And I thought it was a great way to end it. I would love to hear your thoughts if you thought it was kind of a cop-out, kind of a cheap way with dream sequences and things like that. Or were you looking for something more concrete, like they legitimately somehow got sucked into an interdimensional time warp and found themselves in this world where things are similar yet different, and it's run by these people who make people play these games. But I like the way that they explained everything.
Well, obviously it's because it's like Alice in Wonderland, so it's going to be a dream sequence to begin with.
But see, I don't remember enough of Alice in Wonderland. Like I remember the queen, and then but she was drinking the stuff and eating the things that made her bigger and smaller, I think. But all that aside, like I don't remember the why and the how she got there.
But I like how they tied it up that it was like that. But it was funny because. Or not funny, but how the games were still going, that people were still getting taken on those games. So like they didn't have a choice, at the end they were gone. So like, whereas Alice got all the way through, his buddies sacrificed for him. So does that mean that in like the quote unquote real world, they shielded him?
Yeah, maybe they covered him or something.
That he was able to survive, or some of the other guys, like they didn't even care. They just walked away. Like we saw early on, one of the older gentlemen just walked and didn't care. He wasn't going to go play any more games, and we saw him get lasered and get done. So like I just love the whole back and forth and the storytelling of it being this borderland between life and death. It just the intricacies
You'll get it.
of the games that they had in this season. They were more complex. They were harder, and then we get to just croquet, and you just need to play 3 games, and we go back to her trying to fool, so to speak, that he's actually, and it got us really good that, oh my God, that could have totally made sense that he's just been imagining this because he's been through such a traumatic experience. Like I almost thought the guys were going to get hit with a car again when
Yeah,
we
we were-
came back to the end. I thought his buddies were going to get taken out again, and turns out then it's just a meteorite. But I could totally have seen it being like he's just so out of it and like he can't forgive himself because it was his fault, and so like she's playing right into it, and then having Usagi come in and like basically, you know, slice herself to try and prove it to him, and him pushing the pills away to get to Usagi and play the game. It was just amazing so that he could finally get back. And, you know, we had the nice tie-ups where you had the father like crying to finally see his daughter. You had the Arisu's brother saying dad actually cried and he hadn't done that since their mother passed. So a lot of, you know, big emotional moments. Like we even saw like what was her name? Was it Haya that had half of her leg gone?
Yeah.
That saw, you know, Agony laying in the bed and like, do you know them? And she's like, no, but it's like they went through something together. So I like how they had all that happening as well.
The one thing I wanted to ask you guys real quick, I guess we could go around the table if we want, or ask all of you. When the Queen of Hearts was giving her explanation, would you guys have been fine if any of her explanations would have been legit, and if that would have been
all the falsies?
Yeah, all the falsies. If any of those would have been true, would you guys have been fine with it? Or was there any of them
They were
like
all
aliens?
They were all very.
Or-
I thought they were all very creative. And so you know, I was like, oh shit, like that's what this is about. That's kind of cool. And there's other TV shows that and movies and stuff that have mirrored, I think, each one of those plots. So I think they kind of pulled that from wherever. I was gonna say, so I don't want to spoil it for these guys. There's another show that was very popular at one time that has a lot of parallels to this show that you won't know has a lot of parallels until you see this final episode. I'll leave it at that. If you know, you know what show I'm talking about. And they even took one scene in this final episode, and it's almost like, I don't want to say shot for shot, but it's like, we know where you took that one from because it's pretty close for being shot
They
for
just made
shot.
it better with this.
If you know, you know. But look, I don't want to get too much into, you know, what actually happened in the episode, but I was absolutely blown away by what an awesome concept that is. And when somebody maybe comes close to passing, whether it be you know, an accident or whatever, we have this term, oh, my life flashed before my eyes, right? And then, of course, there's people who have near-death experiences who, you know, say that they saw crazy things, right? Like I saw this, or out-of-body experiences, or all these things happen when you're either very close to death, or in the case like this, they said everybody's heart stopped for like a minute. And what I took all this as kind of meaning was, you know, basically everybody, all the games kind of represented things that happened throughout their life, choices that they made, and, you know, kind of presenting them with an opportunity to act in a different way that they may have in their normal life, and giving them purpose to want to come back. Because every single game, everything that happened throughout these entire 2 seasons led up to that final moment. Do you want to come back? And there's also a term, you know, when somebody's, you know, in very critical condition, or if their heart stopped, we always say, well, you got to fight, you got to fight, you got to fight. And I think that's kind of what that represented at the end, was these people saying, given a choice, like, do you want to come back? What's, you know, do you have something worth fighting for? And they chose yes. And because, look, they're, you know, they've got a lot more life to live. But I think the games helped them realize that they had that life to live and that they wanted to come back. Because, you know, we saw Arisu, things weren't going great in his life. We saw Usagi, you know, her dad had passed, and we saw clips of her just laying on the floor. And maybe, you know, at that time, did she want to be in the world anymore? And there was even times where they brought up, like, do I want to go back to the real world?
She had those doubts through the episode.
And then we had Chi, and Chi brought up, like, I wasn't a great person up until this point. And I think that this was all a shared experience with these people, and each, again, and now this is a show, like, obviously we're reactors, right? We watch a lot of TV. in movies. And there's not a lot of time necessarily for us with our schedules. I can't speak for these guys completely, but to go back and rewatch something,
to watch stuff on our
to
own.
to rewatch something 2 seasons long. I am wildly curious about going back and rewatching this now and trying to catch different things that I may have missed. What happened in a game that would be reflective of somebody's life if they were in that spot? You know, they call it the Borderlands. You know, it's not the same thing as, you know, in you know, certain religions there's that purgatory. It's where between going to heaven and hell versus this where it's between, you know, kind of life and death. But you can kind of make some parallels there as well. So without diving into the things that actually happened too much in the episode, I think what this represented and the way they finished it was just incredibly brilliant. Again, similar-ish to another very popular show, but different enough to where it obviously stood on its own. And again, to kind of circle back to your question, any one of the other explanations, I'd have been like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Even the aliens one. It's like, look, there's people who have, you know, theories that alien abductions and stuff are basically just them running tests on us like we do when we pluck animals and do whatever they do, you know? So I would have been okay with it. But this, the way they ended this in the story with them all in the hospital and stuff like that, just beyond brilliant. I was wondering where the show was going to go. We all wanted answers. And the answer they gave us was just perfect. Perfect for me.
Dave, would you have been fine with any of those other endings that the Queen gave as far as fitting the story or working out for you? What were your kind of thoughts on those?
I think if I'm trying to be like a writer and we're in the writing room, like, hey, we're going to do these falsies. Here is what could we got them. Obviously, they're here at the finale.
Because they took a lot of time.
And I'm glad they gave it some time. What can we do that's not super outlandish, outlandish, but still believable for the world that we just gave them? I feel like that was pretty great because after it was the third or fourth one, whatever the count was, I'm like, now I don't know what to fucking believe.
Right.
So either one, though, like aliens, right? My explanation for that one would have been the lasers, okay? They're hovering. Somehow they
made sense. Yes.
You know, you could make sense out of it.
It's plausible enough. Yeah.
Yep. And then the virtual reality kind of can make sense if you wanted to. What was the other one?
It was like with the future and
the future. The future.
That led to the virtual reality.
You know,
and then
boom.
Yep.
So at some point you got knocked out. Here you are. We froze you. We're in 1,000 years, and
you're in the future.
X, Y, Z. Point is that you can try to make that make sense in your head if you try. All those that they presented us.
Yeah. Oh, the gambling one too. The
gambling.
Yeah.
Everything she presented, you can try to make it rational in your head, being like, all right, yeah, this could work. This could work.
Well,
for me
I think that's the trick. As the viewer, we all would have been okay. We're all like, oh man, it was virtual reality this whole time. Humanity advanced to a point where people are living for 1,000 years. Okay. Oh, you got me. That's not.
Did you
what
get
it is.
like I almost got Total Recall vibes there for a second
Yeah,
when they're like,
say it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was locked in. I didn't catch it, but I was like, it's like Total Recall. They're implanting memories, and now they're so bored, like they have to go on like these adventures. There's another TV show that we may end up watching where people can take certain adventures because their lives are boring or whatever without consequences. Maybe we'll get to it again. If you know, you know. But so they all look. The aliens I thought was the one that was a little bit furthest out.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, then that would actually make sense with the lasers coming down.
Yeah.
That's where I connected that because that was the one weird thing for me is like, how are the?
You're covering your face.
Covering my face.
You're covering the moneymaker.
I'm talking about it. I'm making us.
Hey guys,
again, this way you can edit out what he says if it's wrong.
Sorry. Oh, thanks for that. heads up. But even the laser thing, it was like, okay, maybe it was, maybe it was aliens. The fireworks, the destruction, time warps. Who knows? But they were all very creative, and I think it.
The hospital one really had me. I was like,
yeah.
That was the one where I was
that one
like,
I thought was
that
the most-
that seems very plausible. And again, that kind of plays off what was it, Shutter Island a little bit. And there's maybe been a few others like
Shutter
that.
Island and the Marvel one we watched with
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Oh, yeah,
where
with
he's,
Moon Knight?
He's with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
And what the mental facility, and it's like, okay, wait, is he really? Where are we going with that?
I just thought that was the brilliance of it, is that it could have been any one of those. And as the viewer, you were ready to accept any one of those.
Absolutely.
Until it got to a point where you're like, all right,
an emergency.
now I just don't believe anything. All right, I'll wait for the 30 minutes to expire.
Exactly, because that's where the falsies come into play. You're like 1, 2, 3, and it's just like, all right, now like the meteor. I wasn't 100% ready.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
Because I was like, okay, is the shoe gonna drop here? And we're gonna take this turn, and maybe it had something to do with the meteor. But it's genius, I think, to have it the way they just wrote up this whole thing. And I just went back to episode 1 here. So on the Netflix timer at 42:32. Look at right there.
You can see
that
it.
looks like
see her.
Usagi.
Yeah. But they don't show anyone else because while these guys were talking, I was kind of going through.
Does it clear up at all, or is it just?
No,
is
it
just
keeps her in a blur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, keeps her in the bokeh.
Because they knew everybody was going to come back.
They know they knew they would at least go here because if you watch it all the way through this beginning part 2, they don't show the precise camera angles that they did in the finale to show everyone.
This show's got so much replay. Oh, now I got to go back and watch it, see what you catch.
Well, I'm curious too to some of the look. First off, before I even say it, this show is an absolute 5 banger. Loved every bit of this. The ending was
look
at that.
The ending here, the way they constructed it, I love the ride because you're invested. Hopefully by that point. So the ride with the falsies, that does get annoying, but they give you a very, at least in my opinion, satisfactory of a ending there with the meteors crashing down, and the way they come about it, because when you see that explosion, at least for me, I was like, oh, still I'm in my disbelief because of what we just saw.
Well,
but then when they got to the hospitals doing everything, I'm like, holy shit. And the genius of the Borderland, of seeing the folks with their injuries in the same spot,
ones,
which now again goes back to our review, because I know we touched on it in the reaction, but it goes back to our last discussion now of, guys, we just saw her get mowed down,
right?
Like from head to toe of a automatic gun, and she's crawling all the way back. And then we lost Anne. Now it makes sense why we lost her there, because the doctors were still working on her to bring her back.
Resuscitate her, which they did.
Yep. And then so on and so forth with the rest of the characters. But it was pretty crazy to see. Now I almost feel like I like how they did this too with our evil antagonist here, where I was like, how in the hell is he still alive? He took one to the chest.
Yep.
But in here, he was evil in this Borderland, but now knowing what his backstory was and seeing him there being all pretty much respectable, it's just like, well, fuck, don't I feel like a kind of an asshole now?
I mean, unless
in
that
the
was,
context of what they gave for the Borderland.
he gave you a lot of reasoning to hate him. So.
Or was that evil always inside him and he just couldn't act out in the real world?
Well,
and
he also asked him, hey, so you were a jerk too.
Yeah.
So like he knew that he wasn't a good person in real life.
Well, I mean, for the most part, what did he do? Because they showed us him getting bullied. Now, if there was another flashback, sorry folks, I just don't remember it, of showing more of why he may have been a jerk.
Last was just them beaming balls at his face.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing too, to your point about the meteorite. They did show a Joker card on the table, and there is a season 3. Did the meteorite actually happen, or is this just a whole nother falsie?
Well, in cards, right, Jokers are technically wilds for, depending on what game you're playing, right? Some folks make up their own rules, but for the most part, Jokers are wild.
Yeah.
So now I'm really curious, and I'm excited for season 3. But I am curious to see how they are going to... Because this was, to me, this was the perfect ending.
Yeah, I would hate for this to be another falsie. And if it's like, just kidding, we're back for one more season.
Dude, on this,
that's the only way you can go.
I love these 2 seasons, but for me, this ending the whole Borderlands concept, the whole like, dude, think about a dream. Think about like wow, this was crazy. Think about the crazy shit that happens in dreams. Now imagine maybe what your brain is processing when you're technically your heart beats and you stop. Like think about like what you know,
all the
and the way
vibrating.
they had that, like it was a minute, and those are the Borderlands. Just dude, this is a fucking mic drop ending, right? This is a mic drop ending. Boom. We just and you walk away. And I get it. And Mason Quinn, do you like money? Netflix likes money. But I and they showed the Joker. I get it. But if they come back, like, are you going to give me a better ending than that? And maybe they will. Maybe they come back and they provide.
Do you do the same
better.
cast, or do you bring in brand new characters?
Well, there you go too.
You could.
Yeah,
you could. And so to your point there, and then I never even got swinging. I got to swing back to what I was teeing up. But to your point there, I trust the writers now after seeing two seasons.
Yeah.
I'm kind of split when you bring that up. Should it be new characters or should it be the same characters but with the twist? So I'm kind of split on that because having that third season be new characters, I think would be like taking a Michael Scott away from The Office, taking name a big time player like Rick Grimes, take him away from The Walking Dead. I feel like people already have the investment in these characters to introduce a third season and basically rebrand it to show another set would be very risky in my opinion.
Yeah, I think as long as they don't feel cheated.
Well, how do you tie that into what happened here? This is this Joker card showed outside this hospital where everybody that was in the Borderlands was. It was outside this hospital. So if you're going to bring in a new cast, I'm not saying they can. I'm just saying I would be curious to see how they're going to run with that.
So remember this right here, right? They showed all the destruction and devastation, and they gave us a quick highlight of all the characters we've been introduced. So if we're playing off this little fantasy writers board here, you could pick up from someone here, but then again, it would be super pointless, right? Because we just had all this time with these characters.
And we saw who actually won the game.
Exactly.
So what are they doing during that time? Like running for their lives or something else?
It has to be.
Or are they playing their technically...
Why don't we ask the Super Web?
Their own...
We'll get our answer
Or maybe they're playing their own set of cards.
See, that's...
in their own world.
Yeah, and the one thing that I think that we have to keep in mind when we're talking about the way they laid this story out is everybody that was there, their hearts had stopped, so they had died. Now we saw this was
there you go.
So
we don't have to go into this fantasy world anymore.
Okay,
Alice and Usagi are the only ones so far. 3 days ago is this recording.
Okay, so they're bringing them back. And what I was gonna say is that look, when you saw the devastation from that meteor, a lot of people died, right? A lot of people would have died. And a lot of people would have been injured very badly, ICU, the ER, the whole works. But everybody that was in there was the people who experienced the Borderlands weren't the people who were just in the hospital, weren't the people who were in ICU. Those were the people whose hearts stopped.
Yeah,
they were technically dead. And it's like, even with a disaster like that, obviously very bad injuries, but how many people would have been like clinically dead and then back? And so they gave us a very small handful of people. So to introduce, these people were also clinically dead.
You just watch how many they took out at the beach club and how many they took just spades took out.
It's like, okay, so we know we lost a lot of people. We know a lot of people would have been injured, but if you're going to try to tell me that a whole new cast of characters also were just out of it for 1 minute, I was like, But now we got our
I'm
answers.
very nervous about season 3 because I don't want to feel cheated, and there's no reason for Alice and Usagi to go back to the Borderlands. It isn't like there's some unfinished business they have there.
Or
like
maybe they're
we have to go back. That's my fear, is that they're still in it, and that this amazing, awesome finish wasn't the finish.
Well, that's what I was teeing up like minutes ago. So if you're still here, thank you. I'm kind of curious to see how some of you felt. If you felt cheated, that this was technically, give or take, a dream sequence, because in that 1 minute that he was basically no heart rhythm, this was all going on in his head.
Everything in 1 minute.
Well, and other folks, because they did kind of give the, didn't I see you before? And clearly in episode 1, they didn't see each other at all. So I'm really curious if some felt cheated because, you know, we had everything happen only to come to this kind of ending. I don't personally. I love the way, again, 5 for me out of this whole series.
Great ending.
Great ending, perfect ending. But I'm curious to see if some felt like, really, that's how they're going to end it? So,
well, and
but
thing
we're getting
2
season
is
3 now.
it depends.
Thing 1, thing 2.
Depends also how it ended in the comic book or the manga.
Which we don't
you
know.
Which we don't
Magna.
know.
Yeah, so we don't know. Either, again, I don't even know why I'm writing this because, again, it's
pretty obvious.
Well, it's pretty obvious what you were getting at.
Yeah, it's a bloody 5 because, gosh, I mean, in some of the stew, and with the games, we got, throughout this series, we got, you know, living, you know, life and survival, reality versus, and, you know, free will and some of all that stuff, too. And the characters grew. I mean, I don't know. It's funny because now my focus is on just, okay, we got a meteor hit, which is, in that sense, you could have a huge conversation on because we just saw all that devastation, all that destruction, all that life gone. And that's where I'm just like bouncing so much in my head of like, all right, the games didn't really happen. Maybe, because we got the Joker. Maybe. But again, that's what I think is the brilliance of this show is it leaves you putting your own story together if you haven't read the Magna, that is.
Yeah. All right. Well, for me, it's a simple 5.
Yeah, simple.
5 out of 5. I mean, come on. And yes, I am like you. I am worried about season 3 just because are they back in it? Because
give it a shot.
Because this
selfishly,
I mean, we'll still watch it, and I'm looking forward to it in a sense as well. It's just I'm just wondering where they're going to go from here because that was an epic finish.
Yep.
Well, just view it like this, right? Batman Returns. Some folks don't believe that Batman Forever happened. Some folks don't believe
Batman and Robin definitely didn't happen.
Gladiator 2 definitely didn't happen.
Gladiator 2
didn't deserve the Gladiator name.
With all that being said, look, I'm so thankful for all of you recommending this one. I'm glad you made it to this part of the video if you did so. A big thank you to all of you out there. This channel does not happen without you. So with that being said, this was a 5 out of 5 answers for me. Absolutely outstanding. I am very nervous about season 3 because it's not Alice in Borderlands unless they go back to the Borderlands. So we'll see.
They're still in there.
Book it. 5. Brilliant show, brilliant writing, everything top notch, A to Z. If I could give it a higher score, I would, but 5 answers.
Yeah, we don't have any 6-star matches here.
Yeah, real quick, thank you all for recommending this. I can't believe it took us forever to get here, but we got here. What a phenomenal series. Again, wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for this fucking channel.
You guys are the real MVPs.
Thank you.
Keep them coming.
Thank you.
Keep
this
them
was
coming.
so much fun. Hopefully, y'all
So
enjoyed
good.
us enjoying it so much.
So good.
Can't wait for season 3. Maybe.
Bring
I
it.
don't know.
Selfishly,
Bring it on,
I'm ready
bring it
for
on.
it now.
I'm ready. But
Give me season 3.
Little worried.
I got confidence in the writers. Is it the same writers?
That's
We'll have
true.
to figure that out.
Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. So for Appleton Oak, Diamond Dave, that's Mason Quinn. I'm, of course, the answer. Good night now, pals.